Hello everybody, and welcome to a hands-on tutorial on how to use AWS Translate. First, let's go over what Amazon Translate actually is. Amazon Translate is a neural machine translation (NMT) service that delivers fast, high-quality, and affordable language translation. It uses deep learning models to provide more accurate and fluent translations compared to traditional rule-based or statistical systems. At the core of the service is a neural network model trained end-to-end that processes entire sentences to better understand context and meaning. The encoder reads and transforms input text into contextual embeddings, capturing the relationship between words, and the decoder then generates the translated output word by word based on the encoded information. There are three main key uses for Amazon Translate. First, localization. You can translate enterprise content at scale, such as product descriptions, customer reviews, and knowledge bases. This is useful in global product launches, video subtitling, and historical archive digitization. Second is communication. We can enhance customer engagement in real time with multilingual in-game chat, social media translation, or global support channels. Third is text analytics. We can drive insights from multilingual content. Use cases include voice of the customer analysis, media monitoring, and legal document discovery or e-discovery. Amazon Translate can be used in a variety of environments, making it highly flexible for developers, analysts, and business users. The three modes of use are AWS Management Console, a web-based UI for quick translation and setup, AWS CLI, a command line access for automation and scripting, and AWS SDK, API integrations with your applications in multiple programming languages. These translations can be performed in real-time, low-latency API calls or batch mode, document translation from S3.
Its key features include broad language coverage, dozens of languages and dialects are supported, low latency, real-time translations of up to 5,000 bytes per API call, high security, all content is encrypted and models are not trained on your data, scalability, translate millions of documents or chat messages effortlessly, regional availability, deploy close to your users, customizability, tailor translation outputs to your business needs, pay-per-use pricing, only pay for what you use, no upfront commitments, and supported formats translate documents in DOCX, PPTX, XLSX, HTML, XML, and TXT. And lastly, customization options. Amazon Translate provides three key customization features to ensure translation outputs match your domain, tone, and terminology. First, do not translate. You can prevent translation of specific terms such as product codes, variable names, or brand identifiers. This text passes through unchanged. Second is custom terminology. Define translations for domain-specific terms. For example, you can translate the word device into a specific Thai term like upakorn. And third, active custom translation or ACT. Improve translation quality by using your own parallel data without training a model. This is ideal for domain-specific content such as legal, medical, or financial documents. This feature supports up to 5 GB of training data. It offers domain adaptation capabilities. It also comes with higher costs, but you also have significantly more control over the output. So this is the basic overview on Amazon Translate. So now we can get on to the hands-on lab. First up in this lab, we'll go over how to prepare Amazon S3 as the source and destination for the text files we will be translating. Before we begin, make sure that all lab files are downloaded to anywhere that you can access on your local device. Let's start by creating an S3 bucket, then organize it with folders for input and output, and finally upload your translation files. Let's go over how to do this step by step. Before we begin, make sure that you have an AWS account, then we'll be able to start. Begin by logging into your AWS Management Console. Once you're in, use the search bar at the top left of the screen and search for S3 and click on the S3 service from the drop-down results. Inside the S3 dashboard, click the Create Bucket button. You'll be prompted to enter a bucket name. This must be globally unique, so choose something distinctive such as Translate Lab and your name or something similar. Every other parameter can be left as the default setting. Finally, scroll down and click Create Bucket to finalize the creation of your S3 bucket. You should now see it listed under the General Purpose Bucket section. Next, we will be creating the folders within the S3 bucket, as AWS Translate will only work when the files to be translated are in a folder within the bucket. Please note that the files to be translated cannot be in the bucket's root level. Now, under the General Purpose Buckets, click your created bucket. Now from this page, please click Create Folder and name the folder something meaningful. Here we will name it Input. as this folder will be the folder we will upload our pre-translated files into. Then click Create Folder. Once you have created your input folder, click on your input folder and click Upload so that we can start transferring our pre-translated files into the bucket. We will then click Add Files and then select the files to be translated.docx from your local system. This file is an example created by us to show all of the features of AWS Translate, but in the real world, the file you upload here will be the file that you want to translate. Once you have selected files to be translated, click Upload. If you want to add more files to translate, please make sure that they are the same types of file. If you wanted to translate different types, you need to create another folder. Also, please be aware of the translation cost in batch translation. Then we can go back to our S3 bucket where we'll create another folder. Once again, click Create Folder. Here we will name it Output because this is where our post-translated files will be. You can name this whatever you want that is meaningful to you. Then press Create Folder. We have now set up our S3 bucket to be used with AWS Translate. Now we'll be creating IAM roles to update the policies so that AWS Translate will be able to access our S3 bucket and re-input files or write output files. Firstly, please search for IAM in the AWS console on the search bar here at the top left of the screen. Then click Access Management, then click Roles, and here we will click on Create Role. Then under Trusted Entity Type, select AWS Account, and under AWS Account, select this account and your ID. Once you have done this, please click Next. Now on to the next step. In Add Permissions, please search for Amazon S3 Full Access, then select it, and after that, press Next. We can then create a role name. In this case, we will call it Translate Access. Then click Create Role. Once you've created your role, click on it and then under Trust Relationships, click Edit Trust Policy. Here you will need to find where it says Principal and then paste the following, also found in the im.txt file provided after the word Principal. Lastly, click Update Policy. This successfully creates our IAM role, which now allow for the AWS Translate to access our S3 bucket. Before we start translating, we need to make sure that it can be the best it can be. AWS Translate provides two types of translation enhancements: custom terminology and active custom translation or parallel data. First, please search for Translate in the AWS console on the search bar here at the top left of the screen. On the sidebar on the left, under Customization, select Custom Terminology. Then click on Create Terminology. After that, enter any name for the custom terminology. For example, just custom terminology. Next, click Choose File and select Provided lab file, customterminology.csv from your local machine. Finally, finish by scrolling down and clicking the Create Terminology button. Moving on to the active custom translation. On the sidebar on the left under Customization, please select Parallel Data. Then click the Create Parallel Data button. After that, enter any name for the custom translation, for example, Parallel Data. Now, since the parallel data needs to be stored on Amazon's server, we can do it here instead. Click the Upload File button and select paralleldata.csv from your local machine. Then select the button that pops up, the Create S3 Bucket button. Then click Upload to S3 Bucket. This uploads the parallel data to a newly created S3 bucket. Finally, click the Create Parallel Data button. Please keep in mind that storing parallel data for an extended period of time could charge you some extra fees. Now for the key part of our tutorial, the AWS Translate. Please note that the free tier of AWS Translate allows for 500,000 characters per month for 2 months. Now in the sidebar on the left, please click Batch Translation. Batch translation is the type of translation in which we are using, which involves translating a large number of text stored in files. In this tutorial, we will be only using one. Then click Create Job, then enter a name. In our case, it will be Farmer English to Thai. Then once you have created this job, select the source language to be English and the target language to be Thai. Once you have done that, under Input Data, please select the location of your input file within the S3 bucket and choose the file format as a Word document or DOCX. Next, under Output Data, select the location of your output file in the S3 bucket. In the case that you want custom terminologies or parallel data so that certain words are translated in the correct context, you may follow the following steps. Under Custom Terminology Optional, select the custom terminology which we have created, and under Parallel Data, select the parallel data which we have also created. For the next step you must follow is under Access Permissions. Please choose the Use Existing IAM role, and then under Role Name, please choose the IAM role which we have created together earlier. Then lastly, click Create Job. Now we are finished. The process of creating the model may take up to 15 minutes, so we will skip until after the AWS Translate model is being done created. And lastly, once the model is created, we can now check whether the model has translated our document. We can type in the search bar of the AWS console once again for S3. And under General Purpose bucket, click the Created S3 bucket and click on your Output folder. Once in your Output folder, you will notice that there are two additional folders within the Output folder, one of which is the translated text file, and the other is the details of the translation. Lastly, click Download. You can now open the file and check whether the document has been translated correctly. We hope that this tutorial has been very helpful and you will now know how to use AWS Translate. Thank you very much for listening to our tutorial. We want to credit the following 5 video tutorials by Amazon Web Services' YouTube channel for giving us a baseline for our own tutorial. What is Amazon Translate? Episode 1, Introduction to Amazon Translate and Neural Machine Translation. Episode 2a, Real-Time Translation with Amazon Translate. Episode 2b, Batch Translation of Documents with Amazon Translate. And finally, Episode 3, How to Customize Your Translation Output with Amazon Translate. So without these videos, our own tutorial would not be possible. So thank you to Amazon Web Services YouTube channel.